Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelai Shmayo, and this is MeWe Baird for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest, many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors to get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here with Andrea Gehrz. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So tell me, what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
Sure. We offer astrology, which I will be offering for, I guess, at a per minute rate. And we sell astrology books and also beads. So do you want me to show some of that stuff now or?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Well, so we have all kinds of books. One of the things I specialized in my early years was translating ancient Greek occult texts into English. So these were written 2000 years ago. This one is actually covered in, the reason you can't see the cover is because it's protected by an oath. And this is a 9 book anthology written by an ancient astrologer who lived 2000 years ago. His name is Vedius Valens, but there's some ancient astrology in here. Here's another Vedius Valens book. You can't see what's on the cover. You kind of have to find those. So that's why coming to the fair would be great. Now, this is a book written 2000 years ago about how the soul gets in the body. It's called Ensoulment. And I will be doing a talk on this at the fair with some excerpts from this book. This is probably the most amazing book I've ever read in my life. Um, Here's a classic ancient astrology book called the Tetrabiblos. This was also a translation. Um, Now, the book I'm probably most well known for, though, is a modern book called Astrological Remediation, a guide for the modern practitioner. And this book is a textbook and it's meant to heal or help in anything that you see in the chart. So, a lot of astrologers will tell people, you have this challenging thing in your chart, which is great. We're looking at what you call the genesis. It's genetics in some ways, like your chart is predisposing you towards certain things. And this book fixes anything that we see in a chart. So that's what this book is. Um, the fun part about our booth is the beads. These are now, there's prayer beads everywhere in life, but these are kind of sacred beads built to your chart. We do commissions all the time where we build people's charts, but here's some general chart beads. Like here's beads for Virgo. As you can see, the separating the wheat from the chaff is a Virgo thing, and they're in the colors of Virgo. They're very earth tones and things like that. So my friend who gets these, she wears them around her neck like jewelry, but they're also can be hung in your car. People put them on their rear view mirrors. Some people put them on their altar a lot of times. Um, Here's a Sagittarius bead. Sagittarius is gold. You get a very different feel from these, right? Like Virgo personality, Sagittarius personality. This is like bling. Then we have a lot of smaller beads. Like here's keychains for the signs. Like here's, a Taurus keychain. It's earth tones with the unicorn on it. Oh, here's a Scorpio one. Scorpios are so dark. So we got a spider on this one. So that's kind of fun. And then sometimes here's a Libra one with just a general star in it. So that's kind of what we have at our booth.
Oh, wow. Well, how did you get interested in astrology and when did the translating show up? And wow.
Sure. My dad was an astrophysicist actually, and he built a huge, large infrared telescope. And when I found astrology, I thought, is this real? Come on. And as I studied it more and more, and I looked at things in real time, which under things called transits, which a lot of the people at this fair will know what transits are. Um, and I was like, this is real. This is applicable to life. Now, in my old age, I look at astrology as more like a technical philosophy. So it would be like saying, is philosophy real? Absolutely, philosophy is real. It's not like we have to test astrology scientifically, but I think I just got into it, and then I just started doing chart readings, and I'm 25 years later, that's just it's in my chart to be an astrologer, if I was being honest. I taught at the Portland School of Astrology for 7 years, and in person, and that was really fun. And I learned a lot there. And now I run a school called the Moyer Press, where I work a lot online because we work with advanced astrologers, kind of training the trainers kind of thing. But I do love to read charts for new people and newbies all the time. I do that as well. So yeah, I mean, how did we get here? I guess I just really am meant to do this. I just love reading charts. Now along the way I started drawing charts because a lot of charts is color theory. That's how the beads came about, is I started drawing charts and the ancient texts would have all these colors. Like what's your sign, Laura Lee?
Scorpio Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising.
Okay, interesting. So Scorpio is kind of black, and then Aquarius is often like blues or turquoise, you know. And so like we tend to, draw the chart in full color. But then when you can take that and make all kinds of art from the chart, you can, dress people to their chart, take photo shoots, brand yourself, websites, like anything. So a lot of, maybe I lost track of your question, but I mean, I just think I got into
Well,
astrology. Yeah, go ahead.
you start to say a little bit of the beads and how the beads showed up because you're talking about colors in the charts. So that's
Yeah.
why I was wondering where the beads came from. You're clearly very creative.
Yeah, yeah. Well, astrology can lend towards a lot of creativity because each chart is its own animal, right? So it's like as an artist, we're always trying to make things that are meaningful to each person. If you, are working, it's kind of like commissions, right? Like you are trying to make something that's important to each person. And so the chart just provides endless fodder for, personalized art pieces. So that's why I guess in astrology there's historians, there's everything, and we're just the art and humanities sector over here. Like that's, I teach artists all the time. People who make perfume. One of my students here, she made this essential oil to my chart. So it's endless what can be done to people's charts, and yeah, it's one of the more fun side of astrology, I think.
Well, and uh, so tell me a little bit about just even your clothing. There's a way that you specifically chosen your clothing and the way that you show up in the world that I assume is so connected to your chart. Do you mind sharing a little
Sure.
bit?
Thanks for asking. Well, I'm a Scorpio sun, so I love black. I'm always in the most black ever, but I'm on the cusp of Libra. Libra is white, and so I'm literally 2947 Libra, which is like right on the cusp. So I always wear black and white stripes because it's both colors. And then I'm a Gemini rising, which is light powder blue. So these are powder blue star earrings. And so I always dress in my chart palette. In fact, I just went to a weaving art show of a friend, and I said, can I commission you to weave a scarf in the colors of my chart, which I also do crimson blood red sometimes. But when you're looking at styling, a lot of what I do in my old age is production of people, because as producers we style people to their chart, we do all kinds of things. So as students get bigger and bigger and bigger, they need production service. Like, so it's like you get into like celebrity styling and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, people wonder why my outfits pop, and it's literally magic. I mean, astrology is magical, right? Like color as magic. If you dress to your aura, you will pop, is kind of the idea there.
Great. It's great. By the way, some of my connections, I was a scientist also, and particularly I was a geneticist. And I love the analogy of how an astrological chart is similar to our genes, where it's predictive and there's lots we can do about what's here. So
Oh,
it's just a
wow.
context that we're in. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you tell somebody something's in your chart, you're literally saying you're genetically predisposed towards XYZ because it's there for the duration of your life. And so that there's something weighted and heavy to that, and you have to take that job seriously. You can't just say willy-nilly, like you're violent. Well, that's like saying you're genetically violent.
Yeah.
But that's why we always remedy things.
And this, can you give some examples of like the remedies? I mean, these are gonna be things we can do given the patterns that we have. So yeah,
Absolutely.
just
Yeah, and I'm doing a talk at that at the fair as well. So gems are a big one. In India, this has been going on for thousands of years, called upayas. So, let's say somebody has a really humble chart to the point where they're, self-effacing and they don't shine enough. And, we might give them a big gold, blingy Leo lion necklace and say, can you wear this lion around your solar plexus and remember to shine? That. So some are things like that. There are gems you put on the fingers. There's different, if you look at a palmistry hand, there's different planetary fingers, so if you had a weak Saturn, you would wear maybe a lead ring, which is the Saturn metal, on the Saturn finger. Now, but I'm more of we do a lot of physical remedies, like I do a lot of medical astrology. I'm not a doctor, but I work with an astrokinesiologist. We have a book over here called Astrosomatica, which is all things physical in astrology. And so let's say you have chronic health problems. We go in and fix you fascially. Like we reconstruct your fascia according to how your chart is shaped, because you can see where the chronic problems are coming in through the chart. So I don't do those remedies myself. I'm the theoretician saying, can we go into vertebrae C3 through C7, do 12 sessions of wash on, rolfing, and blah, 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 blah. Um, People are remedies. If you have a part of your chart that's kind of weird or quirky, some charts will line up with that part of you and enjoy
Mhm.
it. Some people will be rubbed the wrong way by it. So we definitely match you up with charts that love you and support you and find teams for parts of your personality. They do this in management theory all the time. If a manager has a weird, they're bossy or something, they have team people in the team who kind of check them and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of remedies.
Great. It's great. Thank you so much. This is so much fun. Well, if people want to learn more and connect with you, where do they go?
Sure. I'm very active on Facebook, so you can find me at Andrea Gehrz on Facebook. That's Gehrz. You can also find me at andreagerritz.com. And yeah, those are probably the two biggest places.
Great. Thanks so much. We look forward to having you at the events.
All
And
right.
everyone watching and listening can find out more about the events at MeWeFairs.com. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you for this opportunity.